size 10 and dressed precisely as the fashion magazines dictated. What he'd ever seen in her slightly below average height, dark hair and less than cutting-edge dress sense, she had never quite worked out. Cynically, she decided it was probably something to do with her breasts, which were more ample than being a size 10 would allow. "What I don't like is you shooting off to Scotland on the whim of a man you haven't even met. It's ridiculous. Why can't he do his own dirty work? It's nearly winter, for God's sake." "Because he's abroad, which is why he uses my services. He hasn't got a base here and needs an assistant, and it's only October." "End of. And it'll feel like winter in Scotland, believe me. And assistant is only a fancy word for secretary, you know. You may like to call yourself a virtual assistant, but no one's ever heard of them. You won't be able to stick it. You'll be back here within the week. You're far too soft to sort out a business in trouble. You'd want to keep on all the workers as pets." Jenny ignored this last bit to avoid losing her temper. Luckily, people who need them have heard of virtual assistants. And if a lot of my work is secretarial, at least it's honest labour and doesn't put anyone else out of a job. Anyway, this won't be just secretarial work, will it? He's trusting me to go and look at failing business and report back. You could view it as a promotion. "He's using you, Jenny." "Yes, and he pays handsomely for the privilege." "You should be pleased for me, Henry, not carping. It's loads more money, and I've got a chance to really build up some capital." Now wasn't the moment to mention that she wanted the capital as a deposit so she could move into a place of her own. "You're just being suckered, Jen. He's getting a management consultant on the cheap." Jenny scowled at him. He knew the words management consultant would get her going. "I am not being suckered. I am my own boss. I can stop working for him at the press of a button. You're soft-hearted and impulsive. Look at the way you gave that beggar all your loose change on the way back from the paper shop this morning. You might as well throw your money away as give it to someone who'll just go and buy drugs with it." "I don't call that being impulsive. I call it being compassionate. Just because you would rather die than buy a copy of the big issue doesn't mean we all have to be the same. Now, I really think I should be off. I want to get at least halfway today. It's a long drive." "A drive you don't have to be doing. Don't worry about washing the cups, I'll do them." Jenny stared at Henry, wondering how or why she had ever got involved with him. Then he smiled, and his hair flopped forward, and she remembered. He reminded her irresistibly of Hugh Grant. She went over to him where he stood pouring coffee grounds down the sink. "Let's not quarrel when I'm going away." She kissed his cheek. He pulled away from her. "Goodbye, Jenny, but I really wish you'd reconsider." Jenny sighed. Hugh Grant would have thought of something witty and affectionate to say, something that might make her stay. "I'm sure your mother will be able to entertain the American cousins perfectly well without me. I've given her my apple pie recipe." He didn't answer her, so she took a last trip to the loo, put on her coat, and then checked that she'd got everything. By the time she'd reached the motorway, she'd stopped feeling guilty and sad for leaving Henry, and just let herself enjoy the sense of adventure. She was escaping from her solitary life for a little, and was going to be doing some hands-on work. It was a challenge, and she relished it. It was the following afternoon, and several 100 miles later, when Jenny, near her final destination, stopped at a tartan-painted mobile refreshment van, endearingly called the Homely Haggis, and asked for a cup of hot chocolate. Still annoyed with Henry, she had vowed never to drink coffee again. The pretty, enormously pregnant young woman pushed the polystyrene cup across the counter. "There you are, and there's your change. Ow!" she added, as Jenny took it, and put her hand to the small of her back. Jenny hastily put the hot chocolate back onto